Hey, everybody, and welcome to Detour Ahead, the podcast where there's detours and they're ahead. So I'm Riley, and here I am, another episode, no Colo Chew, and I gotta say, folks, very relieving. I was kind of starting to get tired of her bullshit. Just being around her every week became a struggle, became a real tough thing to do. So I'm here. She's gone again. Thank God. And yeah, totally just me. Nobody else is here. This is the solo episode of Detour Ahead. Because Kolochi was a bitch ass motherfucker. And she pissed on my fucking wife. She took her hedgehog fucking grilly dick out and pissed on my wife, folks. She's insufferable. Can't work with her anymore.
Are you done? You good?
Oh, Colo, I didn't hear you walk in. Hey, buddy, what's up? I didn't know you were gonna make it today. Sorry.
Oh, I missed 1 week. That's it.
I know. I had to come at you a little bit. But yeah, this is Detour Ahead. We're back, folks. No more of that nerd shit. It's me and Colo Chew, and we're here to talk about probably how depressed we are. If I had to guess where this conversation's gonna end up going, Colo Chew, how are you doing this fine morning?
I'm so fucking tired. I didn't get home till like 4 o'clock in the morning, so I'm running on like 5 hours of sleep.
Oof. Maybe I wouldn't have tried to get you to do morning cast had I known that information.
No, it's fine. I gotta be up anyway. It's alright.
Yeah,
Morning cast is best.
That's right. Get your early morning cup of coffee, and just sit down with us for a nice early morning conversation. No matter when we record it, it always comes out at midnight. So hypothetically, a lot of people are probably listening to it in the morning. So it's not like this is a real change for anybody else. But now we're all in the morning vibes. You know what I mean? Just the vibes are different. It's a nice chill cast. I feel like morning podcasts are always the good, like, chill ones. Like sometimes they suck if you're like really tired, but usually it's just like the vibes are chilled down. You know what I'm saying, dog? Whereas like in the nighttime, I feel like you're like bursting out the last bits of your energy as you like try to have a comedy performance. Like just like the last little buildup of the day comes out and you start being a little wacky, a little shenaniganery. Whereas with a morning cast, it's just a nice chill. Everybody's starting their day. We can just, chill down, have a nice conversation. Colo Chew, A-tier performance today. She's really responsive. She's really
Shut the fuck up. I'm doing something that has. I'm uploading a YouTube video because I haven't done that in like 2 weeks.
Fair enough. You have videos backlogged, but you haven't uploaded them.
I don't. I only have one. I only have one video. It's the second FFA that we did. all those months ago. Huh?
You just didn't put that one up until now?
No, because I figured I saw it as if I put this one up, then that forces me to go make more.
So instead, I still
keep a
miss
video
the
in
same
the backlog.
deadline.
I always have an excuse of why I didn't upload.
Yeah. So the having a backlog exists so you do not miss your deadline. But if you miss the deadline in a different way by not uploading the video you already have, it doesn't count. Okay, I see. You know what happened to me today, Colo Chew? Here's a funny story. I did like a video about it because I had to. But the Issue Crew episode that came up just this morning when we were recording this, it would have went up like 3 days ago for you folks. 4? I don't fucking know math. The latest Issue Crew got taken down for hate speech on YouTube. So that was an interesting way to start my morning. They got it pretty damn quick too. I woke up at 6 in the morning, like I pretty much always do. And I see that I received a DM from Kathy at like 3 a.m. and it's a screenshot of a video was taken down for hate speech page. She said like, "What the fuck, is this real?" or something. And I was like, what is she talking about? But immediately I started to put it together in my head. because Kathy did say some particularly not nice things in that episode. So I went to look at the issue crew page, and lo and behold, the latest episode was gone, taken down for violating the hate speech policies of YouTube.com. Which, to be clear, the only person who did a hate speech was Kathy. Me and Demi Gloom immediately pointed and laughed and dissented at her for her stupid hate speech opinions. But that episode is now no longer allowed on YouTube, and I can't. I I have a suspicion of what caused it. The logical thing that caused it is near the end of the podcast, Kathy gave a very bigoted take about transgenderism as it relates to mental illness. And I assume that's why it got taken down. But knowing YouTube's weird ass moderation, it could just as easily be the sheer number of times we said the word Hitler. Because we had a very academic and productive conversation about the would you kill baby Hitler question. Like totally tame, nothing bad. We just had like a logical discussion about the baby Hitler question. So I'm concerned if I just cut out the take about transgenderism and put it back up, it will also get taken down for hate speech because maybe it's just because we said the word Hitler 70 times.
I feel like that's where you just upload it with, and then in parentheses go, no Hitler, no this, no that. Just trying to figure out what it
34,
was.
no Hitler, no transgender takes. And it's a 15-minute episode because the episode was called Time Travel. It was 55 minutes, and I think 30 of those minutes were spent on would you kill baby Hitler. So that was our main time travel question. We went into like some other like more general time travel questions, but most of it was like discussing the like implications and like potential timeline changes, just getting really in depth about the would you kill baby Hitler question. It is actually like one of the best discussions I think we've ever had on the issue crew, in my opinion. Like I think it was very productive and very interesting, and we all made a lot of good points. I would recommend that episode. It is still up on like Spotify and Apple. It only went down on YouTube. So check that one out. It was a pretty good episode until Kathy said a real bad thing at the end. You got to take it down for hate speech.
You see, it's not funny. I haven't had a video taken down yet. I'm very, very surprised because some of them are like not questionable, but like I'm surprised I haven't gotten a video taken down. Also,
I'm
I'm
more
real upset
surprised.
because I was putting this YouTube video up, the second FFA.
Mhm.
I was putting it off because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to go make a thumbnail for it, but it's an FFA, so I have to. I'll just wait and I'll do it later. And then 2 weeks later, here I am. The fucking thumbnail's already made and sitting on my desktop. I didn't realize it.
That's really funny.
But my backlog is now officially empty. So
It is shocking to some extent that you haven't gotten a video taken down, but much more shocking is that I've never gotten anything taken down because I am an edge lord. Like I think I've been maybe calming down, quote unquote, in like the past year or so. But like some of
yeah,
the podcasts I was uploading in like say 2021 were super fucking edgy. Like I was like defending free speech with examples that were very problematic. And we were having a lot of heated debates about one time 1942 best man in the world or whatever the fuck awfully aged magazine cover that gets spreaded as a meme. A lot of debates about Hitler. He keeps coming up. He lives rent free in our heads, I think. We all hate him, to be clear, but sometimes we have debates about like free speech as it relates to Nazis and like stuff like that. So he just keeps coming up.
Jesus Christ. Are you trying to get
So
this one down too?
no. This one will be fine. For Spotify and Apple, don't give a fuck. Like,
Oh
we
no,
don't
you
put
could
this on
put out a
YouTube.
whole like dramatic reading of Mein Kampf, and they'd be like, "Free speech, good job."
Yeah, they'd be like, oh, yeah. So this show is safe. But this was
They're
my
like,
first
"Hell yeah, you
time.
speak your mind."
This is my first time getting a video taken down for hate speech in my whole long career of edgy podcasts. So it's pretty interesting that that's the case. I've had a couple age restrictions before come up on like largest issue episodes. But this was my first hate speech strike, except technically it wasn't, but I got a hate speech strike on my main channel. But that was because I had unlisted re-uploads of Monkey Jones Let's Plays from years ago when maybe certain words were more acceptable to say. So
Okay.
that got taken down for hate speech, and I was like, okay, let me wipe up because if people don't know the story, Monkey Jones was a YouTuber. He's still up. He's currently called Simian Jimmy. But his old channel, Monkey Jones, and all the other channels he had open at the time all got like banned at once for like bullshit hate speech strikes that weren't even accurate and correct. Like they were all like refutable and completely bullshit. But YouTube just refused to put his stuff back up. So there were a lot of archival efforts of like putting up re-uploads for people to be able to view his old content. And I had participated in that by uploading some of his old Let's Plays and putting them in an unlisted playlist and posting them on the Monkey subreddit. So those were up on my channel unlisted for years, and then I got a hate speech strike for one of them, and I was like, okay, fun's over, and I deleted all of them because I was not risking. I was not risking because you get a warning. Your first community guideline strike is a warning. There's no consequences for it. But if you
Yeah.
get a second one, you can't like upload for a week or something. And I was like, nope, not doing that, and I just deleted them all. So I hope the Monkey subreddit had a nice 3 years of watching Let's Plays on my channel before I had to purge them all for my own safety as a content creator. So yeah, that was my morning, is having to make like a 2-minute announcement video about how the issue crew got taken down for hate speech and how you had to go listen to it on Spotify. And I also had to announce Jason's departure from the issue crew in that video because we announced it on that podcast episode that was not going to be on that YouTube page. I do have to go update the bios and the profile pictures and stuff today, and I think it's gonna be an emotional process, Colo. I don't know if I'm ready.
You got this.
I'm
You'll be fine.
gonna miss that guy.
So why
I
is
de-
Jason leaving?
So Jason is leaving the issue crew, and he's leaving as the editor of my channel just because he's going in a different direction in his life. Like he's trying to figure himself out. He's young. He's about to graduate high school. And he also just like hates podcasts. So like I get it. He just quit editing for me and he quit the issue crew, and like it's totally cool. I wish him well, but it's like it's so weird, and he's also like probably never going to come on a podcast again. So Detour head audience, you've heard the last of Jason, I would assume. Um, and he's just been like the fucking spinal cord of my content for like 5 years. Like nothing I've done would be remotely possible without Jason. The my most popular video, my fucking legacy, the thing that I will die being the most known for, the Breaking Bad Nintendo DS title screen. Jason made that entirely. I had the idea. That was my contribution to the Breaking Bad Nintendo DS title screen. Demi made a song. I said it sounded like a song from a Breaking Bad Nintendo DS game. I asked Jason if he could make a title screen for a hypothetical Breaking Bad Nintendo DS game and put the song over it, and he did. That's how that
Wow.
video came to be. And like all the like let's plays and shit I've made on my main channel since it was conceived, except for like the era when he quit, when he was working for me for free when we were all really young. But most of my main channel's lifespan was fully edited by Jason, and he received very little direction from me. Like sometimes in the recording I'd be like, Jason, put this thing in. But most of the editing direction was just him. It was just him like having fun and like putting dumb jokes in. And just having him around in general, he's been a very close collaborator of mine for many years, and it's going to be really weird to have him step away and not have him be around for all this shit and have to proceed without him. It's just weird. I don't know.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, I probably will be. It's just my main channel and big guy, little guy are gonna have to take a temporary dirt nap while I figure things out. I think Andrew's gonna edit Big Guy Little Guy once he saves up for a laptop. So that'll probably come back within some sort of reasonable time frame, unless Andrew loses his job, which I think he might have quit his job actually, but I don't know if that was a joke on Twitter or real. I have to talk to him. But either way, hopefully that comes back at some point. And then my main channel, I don't fucking know, man. Like I might go back to putting unedited content on it, but if you recall, I made a whole separate channel for that because I wanted it to be separate from the actual produced good content that Jason made. So,
Just go put out like a shit ton of fucking tier lists.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, I want to do I've done tier lists too, but like those videos too are a lot better because Jason edits them. He adds background music, he adds bits, he cuts out some of the like dead space. Like my tier list videos even are a lot better thanks to Jason. So it's unfortunate that I'm gonna lose that touch.
Yeah, but
But
I
we
mean, you can't hold
persevere
it against them though.
regardless. No, I don't hold it against him at all. Like, I just want to make that clear. Like, I fully support this decision. It just sucks for me. Like, selfishly for me, it is a bad thing. However, he is blameless and deserves to do whatever the fuck he wants. I just am languishing about like how it affects me. But like, that's no fault of his. I'll get through it. I'm my own person. He's my own person. It's not like we're breaking up. We're still friends. We live fucking 10 minutes away from each other. But it's just weird that he's going to be a much less integral part of my content brand for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, but I'm sure he'll come back eventually and do some
I'm
stuff.
sure I'm sure he'll be in things. Like we'll probably do like I don't think he's going to quit YouTube entirely. I don't believe that at all. He's going to
Oh
take a
no,
break, but he's going to come back. And if he's making videos, I'm sure he will allow me to be in some of those videos. But like
never
never
again.
banned. He did say like I enjoyed past tense making videos with you at some point. So maybe you're right. Maybe he's just like this Riely guy sucks and I'm never gonna be in a Jelly video again. Who knows? But I think that was more just in the context of the conversation. But either way, he is definitely taking a significant step back, and that's gonna be like a radical change from what I'm used to, where he's the whole backbone of the entire brand, basically. Like his presence exists in literally everything. Even if he's not there, he probably edited it. Like he's always watching, always hanging over, but no longer.
See, not to the same extent, but like if you were to step away from anything that I do, I'd lose a co-host on this podcast. I'd lose the only person I can turn to consistently make YouTube videos. I'd have to go solo, and that sounds fucking terrifying, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's why I surround myself with like as many fucking crazy internet people as possible because doing shit alone can't do it.
Hey, but the break wasn't as long this time. The break wasn't as long this time. I've cut it down to like 2 weeks.
True, true. That's efficient. I don't think Riley's unedited Let's Play Hellscape has uploaded in like 3 months. So you're doing better than me. That
Oh, I
channel was
just meant
supposed to be
the
daily.
randomly disappearing aspect of my internet career.
That's true.
This
Did you
wasn't ran.
did you randomly disappear? I guess you like didn't show up for the podcast last week, but I got a hold of
Look,
you. It's not like you were
look,
gone.
look, look. I didn't show up because I was a little preoccupied at a friend's house.
I
Completely
know.
forgot it was fucking Saturday.
Yeah, I was just like in a voice chat with my friend, and we were like, I told him that the friend was Crow Royalty, FYI. And I told him we were gonna have to like hang up soon because I had a podcast. And then like as we were preparing to no longer be in a voice call, I was like texting you, and you weren't responding. And it got to 9, and he's like, "Aren't you supposed to be doing a podcast?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but nobody. I'm not hearing anything from Colo. She's ghosted me." And then eventually I did text Penguin and ask if she'd heard from you because I was slightly concerned because this is like literally the first time you just like haven't shown up for Detour Head. Like you've canceled prior before, but you've never just like not said anything and then not shown up. That was a new occurrence.
Yeah,
So
I saw Penguin texted me. She's like, Kiwo. So like I went on my phone at like 9:30. I was like, I haven't checked this in a while. I should probably check that, make sure everything's cool. And I see that Penguin texted me, and I was like, oh, okay. So I text Penguin. I wait for her response, and she's like, Riely was looking for you, and I'm like, huh? What? So I hop on
why could
I
Riley
hop on
possibly be looking
Discord.
for me on this day? I don't know why.
I didn't know. I didn't think it was Saturday. I didn't think it was Saturday. Leave me be. I was preoccupied. My friend wanted to do she has a hot tub. The one who's been taking up all my time.
Based.
She has a hot tub and we've been drinking margaritas and chilling in her hot tub.
Oh my god, that sounds like immaculate vibes.
Slowly getting me ready to go to swimsuit con.
Oh, true, swimsuit con. Hell yeah. But yeah, that happened, and then me and Crow were like half jokingly like, let's just do it, and then we started doing it because I thought you just weren't gonna. I like gave up, and I was like, I'm just gonna record one with Crow Royalty for fun, and if Colo actually has a problem with that, I'll just fucking delete it. But then you actually texted us like 2 minutes or texted me rather, like 2 minutes after we started, and I was like, we just started without you. Are you cool with that? And you were like, yeah. So we did it.
Look, there was no way I was gonna make it home on time. There was no way.
Well, I mean, I assumed the answer would be no, don't do it without me. Can't we just do it tomorrow? Would be the answer that I was expecting. But you were cool with it. I made sure you were cool with it because I was like kind of nervous that maybe you weren't. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? You're sure? But we did do it. So if you listened last week, sick, nice. I don't think anybody did. The only listener I know of personally is Colo Chu's sister, and I don't think she has any interest in Power Rangers. So I don't know if we got any listens last week. But
Probably not.
I'm sure we have more listeners than Colo Chu's sister. There's not too many more. Like I think we get like 3 listens per episode, so there's got to be at
I
least 2
know.
distinct other people.
I know. Demigloom listened to the game show. by
True,
the way.
and she listened to the Naruto episode too, so she's been listening. She's one of the
Yeah,
the
she texted me. She texted me. She's like, there are 4 states of matter: solid, liquid, gas, and plasma. And I'm like,
You know,
for
I
like,
think I was gonna say that too because I do also know that. I was gonna say that on the podcast, and I just like held my tongue because I decided that it was
well, because
stupid.
I was like, so I texted her back. I'm like, don't they teach? They don't teach you about plasma until later grades, right? I'm assuming this is about the game show episode. Because why else would someone be
Yeah, well,
texting me
why
about
else would
states of
Demigloom text you about
matter?
plasma?
But yeah, so Demi does listen to some of the episodes as far as I'm concerned. But
Yeah, I'm glad she does. She's been listening to some of my stuff lately, and I've been listening to her stuff too. I've been binging her podcast, Middle School GSA, which everybody should check out. It's a more like political. They call it like an LGBTQ plus political podcast. That's how you describe it. But it's pretty enjoyable. It's pretty good. Good movie. And they need to have me on it because they said they would on an episode. They've never had a guest on before, but I guess they will soon. And the idea of me coming on has been brought up a couple times, but not in a while. And then I listened to an episode, which was also a little old, so it's not like this was recent. But I listened to an episode where somebody commented on their video. Some weird dude who I guess knows about me. This is somebody named Pepito or something has appeared. I think that's his name. Who I guess one who was not tuned into the internet could assume he was just like a fan of my content. But the way that he like refers to like my lore and shit, like it makes me think he's a weird internet troll because that's just what you think when you're in circles like mine. But either way, if Pepito, if you're out there and you're a genuine fan, thank you. It's just that I'm in such disbelief that anybody would care about my content that when they start like referring to like backstory shit, I'm like, okay, this is an internet troll. So, but Pepito said that I should guest on the show, and then he's like, yeah, we'll probably get Riely on soon. And that episode is like 2 months old. What the fuck, bro? Get me on Middle School GSA. I just want to know about Pepito. Who is Pepito? Are you out there? The secret identity, the mask of Pepito. That's the name of the current Riley Cinematic Universe arc. We have to find him.
Pepito Mask.
Pepito Mask, yep.
It sounds a lot better because it's like the Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon.
True. Have you been watching more Sailor Moon or?
No, I've been binging Always Sunny in
Ooh,
Philadelphia.
fun.
And then I'm back on the YouTube grind because I put a pause on watching YouTube videos
Hold
for like
on, real
a
quick.
month.
What is going on with your mic, buddy? There's like some bumping sounds. Stop knocking your mic, bro.
Is it still happening?
No, you sound all right now. This is apparently a running issue. I totally forgot to tell you about this, but you just refreshed my memory by making a knock noise. Sometimes your mic makes noise that is so audible that when I do the truncate silence to cut all the silence out of the episode, those noises do not count as silence. So there was a clip that Demigloom sent me, where I on the podcast was like, okay, I'm gonna step out of the room, but we're gonna be back right away because that's the magical cutting of the silence. And then after I step out of the room, you just hear like 8 mic knocks in sequence because it just cuts all the silence between them, and then you hear us come back.
Oh, that's great. I love it.
It is really funny. I'm honestly glad that it stayed in. I'm glad I didn't notice because I probably would have in the editor chair cut it out. But the way that it came out was funny. Man, podcasts. I've been doing those a lot lately. It feels like I'm kind of getting back into it, which is weird because I know I never stopped. It would be absurd to suggest that I stopped. But there was a time where I was consistently, not on this show. I've made a very active effort with this show, but on other shows, I've just like consistently blown them off. Like it was like the MoCast was getting blown off. That's still happening, but there's more to it now. Um, Kira's Kingdom was being blown off, but that should be coming back today. That is the plan. I'm gonna go take the rest of the notes on the episode right after we're done here, which is why I wanted to start super early to make sure I had time for Death Note notes. And so hopefully that's coming back. And Pokemon Variety Hour has been SOL for, first of all, the entire month of April. The only episode we released in April was the April Fool's episode where we talked about our top 10 Digimon. And there's yet to be an episode in May. But there are plans to at least finish our Pokemon ranking series. Beyond that, Variety Hour might be taking the forever nap, honestly. Because that's the one, like, I like having an excuse to talk to Penguin every week. Like, that's the good thing about it. But, like, the format of Pokemon Variety Hour has gotten stale. And, like, this grand vision of what I want it to be, where there's, like, 4 people there every week, is just never going to happen again. So I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to tuck it in for a good night's sleep. I don't think I'm going to commit to, like, a big finale. I don't think it's necessary because, like, there probably will be times I want to talk about Pokemon on a podcast. And in those times, it would make sense to bring back Pokemon Variety Hour and be like, hey guys, here's an episode just for fun. But I think regular episodes of Pokemon Variety Hour are going to cease very soon.
That's fair though. It seemed like it was on the decline. Like no offense to you. It seemed because I stopped. I knew it was on the decline the minute you stopped like texting me PVH question mark.
True. Like there was a point where I became temporarily invested in having it weekly again. And when Penguin Mage would fall through, I'd like very last minute try to get a hold of Colo Chew. But I kind of just lost the motivation to pursue it. And it kind of fell by the wayside for a while. And then, I think I'm starting new shows, which I know I shouldn't be doing. And I need to scale back a little bit. And I think Variety Hour is like the one obvious candidate for maybe I don't need to do this regularly anymore. Like it's fun sometimes, but procedurally it has gotten stale. Been doing it for fucking 5 years at this point. I think that's a satisfying run.
It's understandable though.
Like there's only so many like really good Pokemon topics. Like we could keep bullshitting them forever. Like Pokemon's a big enough franchise that you can come up with anything. But like all the really good ones, I think we've already gotten through in like 140 episodes.
Yeah.
So that's content changes coming down the pipe. I'm really invested in my new Power Rangers podcast, Megazord Radio. Like I made that clear even before Megazord Radio was like properly planned. I was like, I'm going to start a Power Rangers podcast, and it is going to be my priority. And now it has actually happened, and it's going very well so far. Although I will say, maybe not super accessible to all audiences at this point because we're both just like massive geeks with unbelievable knowledge of the franchise, and like a lot of the conversations we have are kind of like alienating to maybe newer audiences. And also we talk too much. Some of the jokes that both of us make, both of us, but maybe particularly Crow Royalty, are kind of really dumb. So we're kind of working out the kinks, but I'm super confident, and I want to keep doing it for years to come because I want to cover at least a very large chunk of this franchise. Like realistically, not to get sad. This is not a suicidal thing, by the way. This is a exception of possible declining health way. Unless I make significant lifestyle changes, I assume I will be dead within the next 10 some odd years. In which case, we probably will not have time to cover all of Power Rangers that currently exist. Although maybe if it is 10 years, we would, because I believe Crow did some quick maths and determined that if we go the pace we plan on, where we're not going to take any breaks between seasons, we're just going to do like a season and then one episode where we like talk about like the season in general and like we rank the Power Rangers and shit. We do like a wrap up and then we go right into the next season. And the quick math that Crow did determined it'll take us about 8 years to get to where Power Rangers currently is. So, maybe we could do it. But it will be a long, tenuous road. There's a lot of fucking Power Rangers. It is wacky how much there is out there. But we're starting to work through it. We're recording tonight, which is why this is a morning cast. Which, by the way, that's another fun story about how I almost died because of Taco Bell. I'm never eating Taco Bell again. Fucking absolute agony, Colo Chew. So we're we're supposed to record Megazord Radio on Wednesday nights, right? Every Wednesday night we do Megazord Radio. Wednesday afternoon, while I was at work, I decided I'm gonna get some Taco Bell. So I got some Taco Bell. I got 2 really fat ass burritos and a nacho fries. And it was very good. But then the plague get placed upon me was was like no other. Later that evening, my stomach was in such pure agony and pain, just like so much like gross, painful shit in my stomach. And like the first night, I could not even force myself to go to the bathroom or to throw up. Like it was just trespassing in my body. I could not get it out. And then for the next 2 days, all of my using the toilets were completely liquid.
Sounds like you just had some bad Taco Bell.
That Taco Bell fucked me up, dog.
Sounds like you had bad Taco Bell.
Yeah, it was probably some bad Taco Bell. I've heard some things recently too about like Taco Bell's business practices having to do with expired food that was kind of vile, and I wonder maybe if this had something to do with it. I saw like a post. I don't know if this is like one really shitty franchise Taco Bell or if this applies to like Taco Bells worldwide. But there was one employee, I think it's just countrywide. I don't know if Taco Bell exists anywhere else. Is there Taco Bells in other countries?
I have no idea.
And that's like, can I go to Taco Bell in Japan? But I saw a post from like an employee who got fired because apparently this manager wanted people to like swap the labels on expired food so that they weren't expired anymore as far as anybody knew. And this person got fired for not following that directive. So that's concerning, and I do sure hope it is limited to that one Taco Bell. I don't usually get sick when I eat Taco Bell. I used to like scoff at this notion that people get sick all the time when they eat Taco Bell. I'm like, I'm fine. I've got an iron stomach, and usually I do. But more recently, I have been more susceptible to food-based sickness, which is unfortunate because that was my one like super ability. I think I had a superpower of some sort that is now gone. I did one time actively eat like half raw chicken, and it did nothing to me. I was perfectly fine. Because I was like 13 and stupid, and I made one of those, they sell like the frozen stuffed chicken breasts with like cheese and broccoli in the middle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I got those and I cooked them up, but they were not fully done. There's some pink squishiness within the breast. But I just ate them anyway because I was a dumb 13-year-old who didn't want to put them back in the oven, and nothing happened. I was totally fine. Not a single stomach grumble out of place. I was perfectly fine after consuming raw poultry. So I used to have a pretty powerful stomach, but now I think honestly my health is just deteriorating, if I had to guess, because I am becoming much more susceptible to obtaining like just stomach sickness or diarrhea or just like other things in general. Just like poor feelings after eating a lot of food. Which maybe is a good thing, but also I still like feel bad when I'm hungry. That's a really weird thing. I don't know if that happens to other people, but like I will have a stomach ache from like food I ate that was like not cool, But also I will have like a sinking feeling in my stomach that signals that I am hungry and need to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So what happens with me is my hands get like Parkinson's shaky,
Uh-oh.
and that's like, hey, you should have eaten by now. And I'm like, oh, thanks, hands, got you.
The one time I'm a fat guy, so obviously I'm usually pretty good about eating. But occasionally I will get like caught up in other things and I will forget. Or I'll be like waiting for a meal and it will take longer. Like this one time, this one story. I think I might have told this story on the show. Did I tell the rice story?
Maybe probably not.
Do you,
No.
do you recall a rice story? Okay. So a friend of my mother's was here making Christmas dinner. Bless her heart, but she is a little not all the way there, which is due to real brain damage she has from a car crash. So it's not like it's her fault. But occasionally she like won't pay attention, she'll mess things up. And like as she was making this Christmas dinner, there were several like incompetencies that were resulting in it taking a lot longer than she thought it would, but she was confident that it wouldn't. So I was there. I was getting kind of hungry. And I was like, okay, this Christmas dinner's taking a damn long time. It was more like a Christmas lunch because it was pretty early. It's taking a damn long time. So I'm gonna go to my kitchen and like I usually do for breakfast, just make myself a fucking bag of instant white rice. Cause that's the weird thing that I do is a lot of times for breakfast, I will just make like a little bag of instant white rice, put some butter and salt on that, and that's my breakfast. So I go in, I go to make the rice. And this woman who is a guest in the house in which I live, proceeds to, when I say like, "Hey, are you going to be away from the oven for a second? I'm going to cook myself some rice." She proceeds to scold me about how unhealthy it would be for me to eat rice and then eat this dinner, and refuse to let me cook rice in my own goddamn house, claiming that the thing is almost done. But then it was not almost done. It took an additional like 2 fucking hours. And it got to the point where I was just in such pain because I was like, okay, I can wait for a little bit longer. I'm hungry, but like it's gonna be done, and then I'll eat, and then I'll be fine. And then I waited for a little bit longer, and a little bit longer turned into a lot longer, and suddenly I was in real physical pain. And the only food I could get my hands on, which, yeah, smart move, by the way. This woman telling me, oh, eating rice is unhealthy. Go get some fucking Doritos from your mother. Yeah, much better idea, much healthier idea. Fucking goddamn it. So I got Doritos from my mom, and it was hard for me to even get them down because, like, when you get to the point where you're that hungry, the like processed chemicals and shit become harder for you to swallow. So I was like fucking agonizing my way through a bowl of Doritos, trying to fill my stomach enough to function because I wasn't allowed to cook rice in my own goddamn house.
Yeah, no, you definitely haven't told me that story before.
it's really, it's one of the most infuriating experiences I've ever had in my life.
Sounds infuriating.
I should have just been like, this is my house, move, because I am an adult. But I still am basically a child around older adults. Like I'm a meek little boy, so I'm not gonna speak out of turn. So I'm basically anytime there's an older adult around me, they have some level of an older adult associated with my mother. I'll say they have
I was,
some
I was, I
level
was
of
just
authority
about to
for me.
say I don't have any authority over
You
you.
know, older adults who are associated with my mother have some level of authority over me. So I did not
Shinji.
stand up
Shinji
for
has some
rice.
level of authority over you.
Ginny doesn't have shit. He used to, maybe. He doesn't have shit over me now.
You said some level of association with your mom. He's met your mom before, right?
No,
No? I thought he met your mom.
he did not meet my mom. We met up in a different part of Florida. My mother was not involved.
That's safe.
I mean, probably not, but like it worked out. Gingy,
Yeah, lucky.
Gingy was not a molester, as it turned out, so it was perfectly fine.
were
I,
you were
I
you
was
18 at the time, or were
I
you
was
younger?
not 18, but like my 18th birthday was in a month, so
Ah,
it was
ooh,
like
wow,
my
Gingy really risked it all, huh?
we risk it all. That's right. But like I was able to reason with my mother, like I will be an adult in like weeks time. And I'm fairly confident that this person is okay and would like to go meet up with them and go to this convention we got free tickets for. And my mother was very accepting of that, surprisingly. She did start like backpedaling a little bit, like closer to the trip. She didn't like try to take it back, but she started like asking for like his name and address and shit so she could like look him up on all the registries and just be super absolutely sure.
Yeah.
But obviously nothing came up, and I went on my trip and we had a great time.
Yeah, I do plan on going down to at least South Carolina to visit Penguin at some point in time. When that will be, I have absolutely no idea. But because, like I said, I have convention coming up in like 2, 3 weeks.
True, it'll be interesting to see if a detour head goes up that week, if we can figure something out, or if we'll. We've only ever missed one, right? I was thinking about it. Like since I guess like no, we've missed like two or three, I guess, but like most of them were very early on. Like since like episode fucking 4, I think we've only missed one.
We've only missed a few. We've been weekly for the most part. I think there's only been a few where we
Like
were
there
just
was
like
obviously episode 1 and 2 were like 3 months apart.
I know there's
And
a lot
then
of we have a lot where we were just not feeling it Saturday, but we did go out of our way on like a Tuesday or Wednesday or something to get it done.
yeah, we always like made backup plans. So like
So
it
we've
was
been
like
pretty much weekly for a while.
episode 1 and 2 had the like months long gap. Then 2 and 3 I think had like a 2 week gap, and I think we've been mostly weekly from there. Besides the one time where you took the trip and we tried to make arrangements and we did, but then you missed the episode the week you got back.
But oh, that was after New Year's. That's right.
Yes. That was I think that was the one time we missed a week, was us like making pains to record like a whole episode in advance out of order. And then you missed the week you were back.
Yeah. But I will miss 3 weeks from now. I will not be here. I will not be at my PC like at all. But we also have like 2.5 weeks to
Yeah, we
take
have
care of
time. We
that.
have time to plan to see if we can make something happen there.
But yeah,
This show has been very good about like being able to like reschedule and shit. Like I think that's the beauty of a two-man show, is that it's very easy to just be like, okay, what other days are you available? Whereas the issue crew, if it doesn't happen on Monday night, chances are it's not fucking happening.
yeah.
Like I thought we were gonna miss it. We've never missed a week before on the issue crew. Like we've been very lucky about that. I thought we were gonna miss a week. I like had to pull it out of my ass. I had to get Mo Diggity to do it with me, and Mo Diggity was mad at the issue crew and didn't want to be on it, and I had to convince him to do an episode with me. So I had to like pull it out of my ass, convince Mo Diggity to help a poor man out. And we did get that episode out that week. We haven't missed one yet. We'll see if we miss one coming up. I don't know. We're running low on members. Kathy wants to come back, but considering the first episode we gave her a guest trial run on, she got taken down for hate speech. I don't know how that's gonna work out. So, as of right now, the issue crew is down from. It started with 8 members, but it was 7 by the time we even started because Insight was gone before we actually put out an episode. And then we we got one additional person since then, but 3 people have left. So now we only have 5. We have me, Demi Gloom, Mo Diggity, Random Candor, and Andrew. And maybe Kathy if her subsequent trial runs go better. But it's it sucks. I want there to be 8 members. That was always the magic number. Like that was the number we pursued when we started, and we had that. But then Insight fell off, and we started with 7, and then Heartsy quit, and all the shit happened. So now we're down to 5, and it sucks. There's not enough because episodes of the issue crew where there's only like 2 or 3 people usually aren't very good. Like with some exceptions, like I think the most recent episode was very good. I think obviously the episode where it was just Jason and Andrew is the best episode we've ever produced. But I think they're generally better when we have a large group. So that's why I always wanted to have 8 members, and it's sad that I only have 5 right now because of various circumstances. And scheduling obviously doesn't work out with some of my other friends, which is why I've not bothered you or Penguin Mage about joining the issue crew. because you
See, you
simply
do
do not
issue
have the
crew on
availability.
Monday, and Monday's a really, really hard day because I actually have no idea what time I'll be home because of work.
Also,
So
if you were a member of the issue crew, there would be literally no point in this show because the issue crew has the exact same premise. So it probably works out better that you're not.
no, there would be a point in this show. We would just not put out as much content, but
That's fair. Maybe this show would become
this
like
would be
maybe this would become a
exclusively
formless
where we
cast.
bring it would basically be issue crew, but where we actually bring guests in, like the original idea we had.
I feel like the idea behind it at that point would be like we keep doing it weekly because like it already works. Why wouldn't we? But it'd be like either we would have a guest on and it would be like me, you, and a guest, and that's the premise, or it would be like formless. Like if it's just me and you, there wouldn't be a topic because that already happens on the issue crew.
I mean, that's what we do anyway.
That's what we do most of the time. Sometimes we'll set a topic aside, but like I think these formless casts mostly go very well. Like we've had one or two that sucked, but like most of them go very well, I think.
But I am planning a guest, by the way.
Ooh, ooh.
So
When
I'm
next week
planning a
or
guest. No, not yet.
okay, gotcha.
I have to figure out like what exactly we're gonna talk about because they want to start a podcast. And I'm like, well, have you ever done a podcast? They're like, no. And I'm like, perfect. Come on my podcast.
Hey, that's really cool of you, actually. Hell yeah, I'm
Come
super
on
happy
my
to be doing that.
podcast. See how it goes. And they're like, oh, okay. That's what's it about? I'm like, my podcast can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. They're like, what? I'm like, you get to pick whatever you want to talk about. I've also thought about turning this into like literally reaching out to people who want to start their own podcast and be like, all right, what do you want to talk about? What how do you want your podcast to go? And then just bring them on Detour ahead and be like, all right, the floor is yours. Have fun with this episode.
Bro, that would actually be super cool. That's a really cool
Because that's what I
concept.
want to do is like the trial run for my friend's podcast. I kind of want it to be on here so that he gets the first episode jitters out. You know what I mean?
True. Yes, that's so then when he
Because
starts his own
first episodes
podcast,
are
he's
always
used to it.
are almost notoriously bad unless you like fully plan it out. But
Yeah, I think most of my first episodes, because the thing is, like, if you have a show with a weird premise, there's kind of like the procedural requirement to like set the stage on most shows, really. But I think really the exception is like the only exception I can think of is Megazord Radio's first episode was pretty much fine. I guess Crow Royalty was getting his first episode jitters out, but I would like to think that our natural chemistry combined with my ability to run a show made it still a pretty good episode. And I think the reason behind that is because that the premise of that show is literally exactly copy pasted from Omnitrix Radio, me and Demi Gloom's Ben 10 show. So I was already used to running a show with that exact format, just switch out the TV show. So
yeah, that's fair. So it's either I have him do like an inaugural episode on Detour Ahead, just under our name, and we do what he wants, or if he comes on Detour Ahead and we fuck around for an hour to an hour and a half, the deal was I try and schedule you to his podcast.
that's fine. You gritted that through your teeth like you thought I was gonna be mad. I'm cool.
No, I say that because I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll bring my one friend on and we'll be good. We'll be good." If you don't want to do, I would everything I explained to you, I explained to him like 3 weeks ago.
Yep, yep.
So I basically said
My,
yes
my
for you.
my my only note would be please consult me in these things in the future, just as a general rule. But I'm totally cool.
Oh no, I figured it would take place like outside of like around Detour Ahead, so you'd already like plan everything out and everything. Because I know you block out Saturday nights.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I'm game for pretty much anything. I'm just like if you talk to a guest like 3 weeks prior, like I feel like you should probably mention it once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, I've been gone for the past two of them.
Fair, fair enough. Yeah, I guess it was a long time, huh? Because I think we did an early recording the week before.
I think so, yeah.
So yeah, I think we recorded on like fucking Tuesday instead of Saturday.
That's right, because
So
I was planning on
this is the first
uh
podcast we've done in fucking 12 days.
yeah, that's right. But it's fine. No, it's cool. Nobody listens to this.
Yeah, who cares?
So it's the podcast idea is about bringing people on and talking about like conventions and cosplay, basically.
I mean, I haven't had any experience with that, but I'm
Oh, see,
definitely
that's the
interested in
thing.
hearing about it and talking about it.
I have a little bit of experience. He has a lot of experience, and he wants to pull people on with varying degrees of experience
Cool.
just to talk about it. And I'm like, I have the perfect guest for you
I have
because
the
they've
perfect guest for
literally
you. They've
never done
never done it.
cosplay in their life. And he's like, that's absolutely perfect.
Hold on. Don't be alarmed, but I do think, by the way, stomach illness still have not fully recovered. I don't think it's the Taco Bell anymore. I think my mother's like spaghetti sauce she made like yesterday was also not great. I think there might have been something funky about it. But do not be alarmed, folks. But I think I might have to go vomit, so I'll be right back. Colo, mute yourself so there's not 16 mic knocks in sequence between the silence. Oh no! Ah! Okay, it was a false alarm. We're good. Whatever bubbled up, bubbled down. We're cool.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you're not dying horrifically.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Dying horrifically is not fun. Bro, Wednesday night was like a fucking it was like a horror movie, bro. I was just in like delirium as
Oh, your
I
Taco Bell
suffered from
fiasco?
stomach pain. Yeah, like I was just like in such pain and like I was like kind of tired but also like not and like I just went to a state of delirium as I struggled in pain, and it was like I was in a goddamn horror movie. It was so bad.
That's crazy. I don't think I've had food affect me like that in a while, but no, I haven't had food affect me like that in really long time.
Sometimes it just sneaks up on you.
To be fair, I don't eat much anyway in the first place, but
True, you're one of those like people who has problems with eating, like one of those new like millennials who post memes about how they don't remember to eat or don't eat on purpose because they're
oh,
stupid.
see, my thing is I'll eat when my body tells me to eat. But if my body chooses not to tell me, then I do not eat. I could go all day and my body would be like, "No, we're good." But okay, are you
See,
sure?
I don't like the
I didn't
feeling
eat
my
since
body
I
tells
didn't eat
me.
since like 9 o'clock last night. Are you sure? Currently going on 24 hours. You want to eat? And it's like, nope. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, my body, like, if I don't eat basically in the exact scheduled sequence that I always do, I get like the sinking feeling in my stomach and sometimes a headache because I am a fat man and I need my foods. So I pretty much just like eat my 3 meals a day at scheduled intervals to avoid the agony that is the hunger feeling.
I mean, to be fair, like I'll eat snacks like here and there. Like,
Yeah, you probably like manage it well. Like you don't realize you're eating enough to live when you're eating like a handful of almonds, but like it's enough for your stomach to not scream at you.
yeah. Although I haven't eaten this morning, but uh, I'm going to lunch with family for Mother's Day.
Holy shit, Mother's Day tomorrow. I already bought my mom a gift, so that's fine. I just forgot that it was.
Yeah, all you people out there, Mother's Day was this past Sunday.
Yep, so
Uh,
if you forgot, you're
if this is your
probably
first inkling of when Mother's Day is, kind of fucked up a little bit,
call your
but
mom.
call her.
Tell her
Better
you're
late than
sorry.
never. Better late than never.
That's right, folks. Better
I
late
was
than
about to
never.
say it's tomorrow, as a reminder, and then I was like, wait, no, this goes up on Wednesday.
I knew you
But
were about to say it, and I was so ready to be like, "This goes up on Wednesday, Kolochi," but you saved yourself. You really recovered.
I did. I always recover. Don't worry about it.
You rescued yourself from my scorn,
The wrath of God.
the wrath of God.
The wrath
And
of the podcast God.
I just want to say this whole Discord noise cancellation business fucking doesn't work, bro. Or maybe it does, and maybe Craig just ignores it. That might actually be what it is. That would be weird. That's the only thing I can think of because you see, I have this unfortunate affliction called living in Florida. And
Are you
what
going
I
on about the goddamn AC?
Yes, but it's not on right now, so I know you can't hear it, and that's because it's not on right now. But the AC thing, and it's coming back because like for these past few months, I've been able to like turn it off at least during podcasts because it's like still wintry weather, like it's lower in the like 60s and 70s, like during the winter time. But then we get to like April and then May, and we're in spring. We're rapidly that's not a word. We're rapidly approaching the summer. And now, like, no matter what time of day it is, even at night, like, I will die if my AC isn't on. So it's just my audio quality is just gonna be shit on all the podcasts for a while. And it's like, I feel bad about that, but like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. Like, I can't fix it. I don't know what to do. It just mortifies me because I know whenever I hear a fucking air conditioner in the back of a podcast, it annoys the fuck out of me. So I can't imagine how other people feel. So I don't
It's
know.
alright. It's alright. But yeah, just big chilling today. Got some Mother's Day stuff to do. Um, that's about it. I don't really have much going on.
Understandable. I had a whole lot of work to do and I'm tired and don't want to do it.
What time do you have to start your work?
I mean, I would probably want to start by noon.
Okay, I can pull you for like one possible video then.
True.
But
Yes, you could. But yeah, just big chilling.
all right, I think we could call it there. It's just at an hour.
They're not quite, but sure.
We're at 59 minutes
Yeah, that's
ish.
fair. That's fair.
Unless you have something else to bring up.
I'm trying to think of something because, like, I know I have something. There's something in there. There always is. You just gotta dig deep. You gotta dig it up. But today, really, really deep in there. So I don't think it's gonna happen. I cannot dig that deep a hole, unfortunately. So I think we're about good. Well, actually, how have you been enjoying Always Sunny? We kind of moved off of that.
Oh, it's so good. This is like the third time I've watched through it.
Are you watching like the whole thing for a third time?
Yeah.
I started my first watch through just a while back. I gotta get back to it. I'm only like 2 seasons in, but it is a very good show. I'm a big fan.
No, it's just like very off the wall, sometimes dry humor, but it's really, really good.
Weirdly enough, really early on, I assume this changes later because I've seen plenty of iconic clips of him, but like, and he's been good in a couple episodes. But in season 2 in particular, Frank kind of feels weirdly out of place. Like I thought,
They kind of like wrote him in, but once the chemistry gets there and like things start to like move along, he works a lot better.
yeah, that's true. I assume he will, but it was weird because I saw season 1 and I was like, "Yo, Danny DeVito was in season 1. What the fuck?" And but then I really liked season 1. It was very good. And then I started season 2, and it's like, oh, so it's like season 1, but this old guy is there, and like sometimes he's pretty funny, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, but now I want to know what Charlie and Mac are doing. So Frank, can you step to the side, please?
It's understandable. That's fair.
But very good show. I'm gonna get back to it soon. I'm gonna force myself to. I've been like the endless Power Rangers pit has been hard to escape. I think I'm finally gonna escape it in some manner because I did finally, after literal years of procrastinating, start watching the 6-part crossover of the Arrowverse shows, Crisis on Infinite Earths, which I've been procrastinating on watching that since it came out, and as a result, I have not watched past it. And I don't watch all the Arrowverse shows. I'm not into a lot of them, but I did watch Arrow and The Flash. And I just didn't finish Arrow because Crisis on Infinite Earths is like the third to last episode of Arrow because some things happened to Oliver Queen in the crossover. No spoilies. Um, and I also haven't watched the subsequent like 3 seasons of The Flash after that crossover because I've been procrastinating on watching it because it's so long, and I also know things happen in it that I'm not ready for. But I did finally start it, so as a result, I will hopefully subsequently finish Arrow and start watching the remaining seasons of The Flash, and maybe get into a show that is not fucking Power Rangers for a minute, which would be a change of pace. The thing is, I love Power Rangers. I love watching it. It just like I feel bad. I'm like I should consume other things. This is not all there is. But like it's real good though. That Power Rangers. I just finished RPM, one of the best seasons. Very fucking good. I would recommend it to any human being. It is the most mature Power Rangers season by far, but not like to the point where it feels too much. Like it's perfect. It's literally the perfect ratio. Like Power Rangers RPM, like every other Power Rangers show that I like, I'm like, okay, I like this, but I can identify all of these objective flaws that make it only appealing to nerds like me. RPM is just a good fucking show. Like it's good television. It's actually wacky. But that's it. I think we can end it here. I think I've successfully rambled on enough that once I cut the silence, we might just hit an hour. No, because I stepped away for a couple minutes, but close enough.
It's close enough. I think we're 3 minutes over an hour, 3 or 4.
Yeah, we're cool. We're cool. Colo, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on YouTube as Colochu. That's COLOCHU. And you can find me on Twitter as Colochu54.
Fuck yeah, you can find me in a lot of places, and all of those places have been consolidated. If you go to twitter.com/Riely tweets, that's RIELY tweets, there's a pinned tweet. It's got a link tree. And that link tree is also directly in the description below if you want to get it there. It's linktr.ee/Riely Cinematic Universe. And it's got all my links, all my stuff. So go check it out. It's got the issue crew. It's got all my socials. It's got all the things. So check it. Check it out. So thank you all for listening to Detour Head. I've been Riely.
I've been Colo.
And we'll see you next week. Maybe, if Colo 2 remembers.